obviously have some great memories in that building. My father worked for Fingerly Lumber when that building was being built, and remembers delivering materials there in the mid-60s as it was under construction. So, the Houghton building in that area has a long history.
Between World War II and the Vietnam War, American communities were expanding rapidly, and Saline was no exception. Houghton Elementary School was built in 1966 to accommodate Saline's growing residential area. From the time Houghton was opened to the time it closed its doors in 2010, its teachers and staff served as an inspiration to the thousands of students that came through its doors.
And then just being, a part of what was going on in the school day. Administrators, they do lots of things that aren't always so, a lot of meetings and meeting with parents and dealing with issues and, finances and all that kind of thing. But my favorite memories are always anything that had to do with interactions with students. I used to love to take time during the part of my day to go down to the music room and hear kids sing and play instruments and interact with them and see them smiling. Go down to the gym and kick a ball around, or just watch them run, and or go out in the playground when they're at recess and see them and play with them, and to know that and appreciate that they appreciated you. They would always come up to me and say hi to me, give me a hug or high five or whatever, and those were very special moments for me.
Well, the district had been expanding rapidly in the the mid-90s and into the early 2000s, and really one of the things that happened as we built based on not only the students that we had, but projections in terms of the growth that we had been experiencing. And then in 2008, and really it comes down to when General Motors filed for bankruptcy. If you look at the Michigan economy around that time, really it just plummeted, and the amount of student enrollment that we saw really went down. And in doing so, we really had to look at ways to reduce our expenses and really reconfigure the district to best serve and meet the needs of our students. And in that process, it was determined that it was time to close buildings. And we closed two. We closed Union School, and we also closed Houghton School.
Yeah, it was a very sad day. I can recall trying to get every ounce of memory out of it during the day. We talked about it a lot, and we knew it was coming, but when the final day came, it was emotional. A lot of people were teary-eyed. We hated to see the buses leave, but especially on that last day. At Houghton, it was always a special day to send them off on the last day of school, but we knew they weren't going to be coming back in the fall, and that was a sad time for us.
It was very emotional, especially for those of us who'd been there long enough to call it home. And it really was home. We really were a family there, and I think one of the nicest things about Houghton, it was just a really nice place to be. It was very warm, it was very welcoming. People just felt really connected.
It's really sad. A lot of people from Saline went to Houghton in kindergarten, some even went as first graders. And it was kind of where our education began, and it's kind of sad to just see it go away.
Every year there was at least one mother duck who would find her way into our courtyard, and she would fly in, obviously, and lay her eggs there, and the ducklings every year would start waddling about, and the kids who were right there on the courtyard, the windows from their classroom facing into the courtyard, got to experience it firsthand and see them waddling around, and they were a proud point for Mr. Kenny, our custodian. He would get the little pool out so they had somewhere to swim and water to drink, and he would go to the store and buy the duck feed for them until they were old enough to live on their own. And then to get them out, because they weren't old enough to fly yet, he would put up these little barricades to help walk them, out the hallway and through to the other side, and then they would make their way on down to Mill Pond Park, and it was just a really great experience.
The facility had a flat roof, and one of the things that as a student there, I remember we would always go out and we'd be playing kickball and different things, and towards the end we had to rotate the students so no one ever got in trouble a lot, but the thing at the last day was or the last part of recess was always to try and kick the ball onto the roof, so the janitor had to go up and get it. Bob Harsh was the janitor, was a tall gentleman with a big Duck Dynasty type beard, and everyone just called him Bigfoot.
Little Red Hen play. It was like an event almost all students did, and you just got to participate. I was a narrator in that, I think. And your family would come and watch you, and you just like laughed and had a lot of fun going through the activities of the play.
Zero the Hero. Everybody loves Zero the Hero. I don't remember what day he or she came, but we always did fun activities, and it was always like we counted up stuff that were multiples of 10, and then on 100th day we had this big celebration.
I mean, I always enjoyed getting to school early. I was an early riser and got into the building early. A lot of times it would just be myself and the custodian there, and we'd talk about how the day was going to go and what kinds of things needed to be done. Secretaries would come in and we start talking about how the day was going to go, what kind of things were being planned for the teachers and for the students. But one of the favorite parts for me always, and always has been, is when those buses start pulling in and kids start getting off those buses. And just seeing them, saying hi to them, hoping I'm going to make their day the best by just saying hi to them and greeting them, making them feel comfortable and glad that they're at school. It's always one of my favorite times. I'll always remember that, and I'll miss that, always miss that. I miss it now.
Houghton will always be known for its fantastic teaching environment, large amount of space, and the school's ability to put a smile on all the children's faces. Former teachers and students will never forget the memories and the impact the school has had on their lives. Though the students may leave Houghton, Houghton will never leave the students.